Is everyone going, oh my God, I'm not ready to have people in my place? We don't look pretty enough. We're hands up. Okay. We're not talking about personally. Okay, we're talking about, do you feel you're ready? Or are you freaking out going, oh my God, I've got that old ute that's on blocks sitting in the middle of the paddock and I should do something about it or whatever. Yeah. Look, a broken tractor's great because that's a photo opportunity, so keep that one. Okay. What I want to stress today is don't panic. People want a realistic, very real experience. They don't want a tizzied up thing. They want to have what the essence of your farm is about. And the one thing I want you to do from today on is start taking photos. We've all got an iPhone, we've all got things. Just through your day, take photos. Take photos of the kids in the paddock. Take photos of your farm looking pretty. Take photos of sunsets over your farm, sunrises. And I want you to keep that, and you want to keep those photos for Lynn and Andrew, and I also want to keep them for yourself, because then you have a library, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I do want you to remove unsightly piles of junk and barbed wire and all those things. That's a thing. You've got to go through your property and go, okay, what do I have to get rid of? And you can use woofers, you can have a Barbie with backpackers, or you can just suck your family in and go, you don't get lunch till that's gone. Okay, so there's no real cost to you, but it's important because you do want it to be an experience that people come and say, oh, you know, wow, okay. I also want you to work on recipe sheets with your product in, and I want you to have your Facebook address on it, the Gympie Gold address in the Mary Valley at the bottom. And it's really easy now. You can Google any recipe in the world, you can plagiarise it, you just have to change it a percentage and it's yours. Yeah. I know this, I've got a dessert restaurant and everyone's done it to me. And the other thing you'll need on the day obviously is a clipboard and take down names and emails. That is really important to Andrew and Lenny and maybe me. And also yourselves, because you can invite those people to come back and you can start a conversation. You can say, did you see on our Facebook? Are you on our Facebook? When you have someone come to your farm, you have to be hospitable. Now, all farmers aren't, but normally one of them is. It could be the wife, it could be the husband. Okay, so you've got to work out your roles.
Or your kids.
Or your kids. Yes.
Yeah,
be careful, because we don't want to know what mummy and daddy did last night, okay? So, but they can work, and that can work really well, and I really stress that you need to work out who can do this, and you have to work out how many days and those 4 times a year you want to do it. Even if it's one day, that's great for the region, it's great for all of us. How many hours you're going to do it, and you need to be clear. We can't have people driving from Noosa or whatever to come here and you've decided that you've gone to the beach for the day or whatever. You know, so you have to be important. Even if it's one day in that for Elaine, you know, in that time, then it doesn't affect you, and you know that it's show day for that day. Okay, and I want to stress that it doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to make it endurance, like, oh my God, piss off, I don't like this, you know. So, now if you're not a people person, do up a map of your property, do a fact sheet. Because let me tell you, once Elaine and Lynn get this up and running, you're going to have people here, and you're not going to have time to talk to them. So if you've got a fact sheet, you can go, your kids can go, here you go, or, you know, you can say, so it just means you're not doing that spiel, well, we started the farm 7 years ago, blah, 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 because after you've done that a few times, it's very draining, and you will be stuffed at the end of this day. But it's a win-win for all of us. Do you have produce to sell? Do you have product? Can you value add it? Can you add your neighbours in there? So your neighbours could have their product here as well. So you've got stuff here. You could be taking a little cut of your neighbour's product, you know, but it just makes it really good. And it doesn't have to be hard. I mean, most sheds are perfect. I mean, you can do easy here. But, you know, I love Hessian. I think, Lynn, you poo-pooed it, but I love Hessian. Oh, was it Andrew? Oh, I'm going to slap you. I love Hessian on anywhere. I've got heaps if you need to borrow it. I've got masses of it. I do events for Noosa Food and Wine, and I've done it 3 times a year. And we had 11 journos come through, and I had 18 producers at my event. And the 11 journos actually said the best experience was actually meeting the grower, tasting their product, and talking about the product. Out of the whole Noosa Food and Wine, now don't tell Jim I said this, but that's what they came back to, everybody. That was the most amazing experience. Now we had Kim and Owen, they grow zucchini flowers. We had a little, I have a cooking school, so I have those, I think they're $12 for a little burner that you buy from Bunnings. $12. And a fry pan, and they cook their peppers padron. An experience that you can do. You can do that yourself. But it's a memorable one and people see it. Has anyone had a peppers padron? Do they know what they are? 1 in every 10, one of them will blow your box off. So it's like Russian roulette and you're like, oh my God. But they are amazing and they're really popular. Most of ours on the Sunshine Coast get sent to Melbourne and they feature in Matt O'Connell's restaurant, which is Balalumia, and also his brother, who is famous, Andrew McConnell. And he's got several restaurants. So a lot of our amazing produce you don't even see, and it's going to the amazing chefs. You know, Christine Manfield has been to my property. She loves Trevor Hart cheese from Cedar Street Cheesery in Mullaney. So there's avenues here. And going back to what Matt was saying, so many times I've been in the position with media or chefs that you could be giving me a jar of strawberry jam or a chutney. You know, the value to you is $3 maybe to make it, $2 to make it. But some producers are that's mine. No, you can't have it. But the reality is you could have Matt Moran or George or our superstar over here promoting your product. And the outlay to you is very little. Who goes away on holidays and buys jam or chutneys for families? Is that all?
I go on holidays.
Okay. No one has holidays? Okay. Who will pay $10, $12, $15 for a jam? Yeah. But if you've met Jason, if you've met these two, you've seen their farm and you're taking that jam, you'll buy it and you'll pay for it rather than buying one at Coles for $5. You'll pay 15 or 10. You've got to remember when someone's on holiday, they've put away, they've squirreled money under the mattress or they've got money and they want to buy that experience. They want to have a memory and they want to spruik that memory. So that's a really important thing to do. I want to talk about storyboards as well, and I want to talk about library, having a photo gallery or a photo library, because if you have those amazing images and those hero shots, you can create a storyboard that can be used at Elaine's market on the Saturday, that can be here, or it can be going anywhere you need it, and it means that you're not having to do that blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it's the most important thing that we have to get out of today is taking the photos and then creating a story and start thinking about what your story is. Okay, how many children have you got?
We've got one earlier.
Okay, great. Okay. Okay.
It's right up there on top of the
Okay. All right, later. So you need to weave that story, and you can have a photo of your kids in the strawberry patch. You can have whatever. So wherever it goes, they know you're a real person and you're not a Coles or a Woolies or one of those farmers that are doing that. Who's on Facebook, personally? Who's on for their business? I know you guys are. Great. Who's going to? Hoping you're going to. Okay. I really want you to consider this because it's a really powerful, cheap medium to get our brand out there, especially for our region and also for you. And what it does, it will never sell you. You'll find on yours and yours that you're actually not selling rooms. I've tried. Anyone I know in the accommodation thing, you put a deal up and there's no engagement. But what it does, it actually creates a relationship and a memory, and you'll keep them loyal. And then the next time they come, we could have a weekend away, they're going to come to Maloney. So where are you from again?
Milwaukee Spring.
Great. They like my stuff on Facebook. So I'm quite excited because I've never met them, so I'm talking to you later. Just going with Facebook, we get a little bit scared with Facebook, and there's no really, the only thing I really would suggest is don't vent. And I have to tell you, I am actually famous for that. Some of you might know, you just Google my name and it will come up. So I can tell you what not to do. I actually went on my Facebook and I'll tell you the story. I had 24 people come in. Now I'm a dessert restaurant, we're famous, we have a queue. 24 people came in, I've got a queue, and I sold 7 desserts and 1 coffee. And I've got a queue outside pacing at the bench, getting cranky that they can't be seated. And then I had 12 girls come in and bring their own cake to a dessert restaurant. And then I had a group of girls, 16 of them booked for dinner and dessert, a hen's party. They had 5 bowls of chips and 2 jug cocktails and a vodka and orange.
This is in the same day, isn't it?
No, 2 weekends in a row. By that stage I'm going, not swearing now. So what I did was I went onto Facebook and said, in busy times, we would really, really appreciate that you have a meal, a dessert or a coffee. I thought that was fair. The Courier Mail rang me and said, did you say this? And then it just went viral. So it went over the world. So I can talk to you about that later, but don't have a few wines and then go and put something on Facebook. I didn't do that. But if you've had a crap day, don't even go near Facebook. What you can do when you've had a bit of a zen moment, you can actually schedule your Facebook posts for the whole week, the whole month. And if you've got your photo library, you can use those photos and do a placement. Oh, look, here's the kids, da-da-da. No one knows that they're not doing it now, but you can do that. So, and also post them at different times. Think of your yummy mummies, bored, waiting for the kids at school, they're outside, they're on Facebook. So that's a time. There's someone commuting on the train to work at 7 in the morning. That's another time. 6 o'clock is an amazing time. I've had up to 20,000 people looking at the thing. So it can be huge. If you're a little bit more advanced, these guys are experts, you can actually have a budget and you can set a budget and you can boost the post. So all this is covered in Lenny's courses. I'm just touching into it because I found, over time, I've gone from 2,000 likes for my restaurant in 2 years to 5,888. But it's not an instant, Now I had 15,000 people looking at the post where I was saying, if you do come here, eat something. You just have to be wary of that. And I just want to flag that because it's a very powerful tool of creating those relationships. And if you're doing those scheduled posts, it's not hard. You can just go, okay, what do I want to achieve? And you can put it up. So those different random times. And when you're not stressed, when the kids aren't screaming at you or whatever, just in a quiet time, and think of the outcome. And you want to make it so it's engaging as well. So you can look at my Facebooks. I try and have an element of fun there as well. But you just really want to get that engagement, and you don't want it to be like an advert. So just, and those sunsets and those animal shots are the best. Like I put my chooks up and, people put their cats up and B&Bs and dogs. It just goes nuts. You'll be surprised. With your storyboards, I just want to go back to that because it really is important. And you've got to have those hero shots. You've got to weave a story. And they can be used everywhere. And they're a really cost-effective way of getting your story out there. So I just want to flag that again. And your involvement today and what we're doing helps everybody. And I want you to know that too. Just with media, I really want you to think about the message that you want about yourselves and your farm and convey it in a clear message. So it's about your farm, your produce, your family. And it's about selling the region as tourism. It's not your time to vent about the council, DAF or DD or whatever they're called this week. I think they should be called daft, but anyway. But it's not your time to say that. It's actually what you've got to think is you're actually helping Andrew, myself, and Lynn and the region as well as yourselves. So that's what you have to be mindful of. And the media would love to pick up something that's about your neighbour or something horrible, but it's actually about a time about being inclusive and about being inclusive of your neighbours as well, because we all work together. To promote yourself, there's so many options. There's the Noosa Farmers Market. Some of you may be there. There's the Dagan Markets. There's Noosa Slow Food, which is an amazing organisation. Now, Erica runs that. She's always looking for a speaker for their breakfast. They have a breakfast every month at the Outrigger Resort in Noosa. So your storyboard, and you can go along to that with some product, and it puts us on the map. And Noosa is so close. Accommodation, I'm really excited to see you guys here because you get it. You get it. You're actually seeing people going, where do we get this product? What do we do? Where can we go? What can we do? So I'm excited that you guys are here because there's a bevy. I'm staying with Susanna and James, and they are Facebook pros. And they want product. They want to know what they can put out there about our region. Everyone does. And the main thing about Facebook is to like and share others as well. Go in and like everyone that's here today. Their stuff's going to come up in your feed. Share it. It's all about being inclusive. You've got to stop. If we all work on a bigger cake, we can all have a bigger piece of that cake. I think days are gone that this is me and this is what I do. We all have to work together now, and it's the most cost effective. Coming up, we have the Valley Rattler will be next year, which is a bit exciting. That's another thing you can link in with as well. So I'm not going to go on that. But I want to finish. We may not have it all together, but together we have it all. And that's what I want you to think about.